Jennifer and I are very excited to dive a bit deeper into the work that's been happening with Filecoin Web Services to build a marketplace for DePIN services on Filecoin. We have a lot to cover here, so we'll try to go quickly and share everything that from vision to what's in practice today to where we're going in the future and how you can get involved. So buckle up; it's going to be a fun ride. Starting at the beginning, overall, across the whole Filecoin ecosystem, we've been following this big picture master plan, build the world's largest storage network, onboard and safeguard humanity's data, and then bring compute to that data to enable web scale applications. And really, when we say compute here, we mean all types of interesting DePIN services that you might want to compose with your data, harnessing the fact that data is big and heavy and moving it around is costly. So you want flexible services and flexible service providers that can bring your services to the data wherever in the world you've chosen is the best place to safeguard that data, ideally with multiple resilient copies in many different jurisdictions. And as part of getting to this vision, we've been very focused on onboarding and safeguarding humanity's data. We've realized we need multiple different storage service types to do that well. And we've also realized that when we're bringing compute to that data, we really need to work together with many different DePIN services in order to enable storage providers to also be other DePIN service providers and sell these multiplexed services to clients in a kind of flexible on-chain Web3 native way so that services can be benefiting from all of the on-chain proofs and verification while meeting customers where they are with the smooth ease of access and ways of purchasing those services that they expect today. So the vision for FWS really began with this talk by Nicola at FilDev Summit 4, I believe, in Brussels, around the vision for an ecosystem of verifiable cloud services, really looking at composing together Glacier, S3, CDNs, bandwidth, retrieval checks, compute, AI, DePIN, and many other types of services into this cloud of blockchain-based services. If you haven't seen this talk, I'd really recommend grabbing this QR code and watching this. It's kind of set the initial vision in place. Then we started working on, okay, well, how actually will we bring this to light and how can we do so incrementally? And where do we have the strengths to solve this problem on behalf of the entire DePIN landscape? A lot of our learnings as well came from looking at how we'd seen other major cloud businesses go to market and what we learned from onboarding 10 paying small to medium businesses from Web 2 cloud into Web 3 DePIN services, and what we learned from doing that on Filecoin in particular. First there is that data does have gravity. We want to bring services to storage, and that when you're choosing a storage service, you're not just buying one particular verifiable proof type. You really want a whole suite of capabilities that's constantly improving and iterating over time. We also definitely learned that the real customer SLA comes with multiple different cost tiers, and that each tier has a whole variety of different on-chain services making them up. So, your S3 tier has some amount of basic replication and data durability. It has some amount of hot copies in different regions. It has some amount of fast retrieval checking. It might have some amount of bandwidth provisioning. And that's like a cohesive cost tier that clients want to purchase that really works together across multiple different services. We also learned that for both clients and storage providers, they want payment around these services to be simpler and work differently than it works in most DePIN services today. They really don't want to be paid in highly fluctuating assets or buying storage 5 years from now based on a token asset that has other volatility in its denomination. And so they want things that are pegged to useful defaults that they can denominate the rest of their revenue in. They really want the network to monitor, I want my contract to include, is the service being performed the way I want it to, not just, is there one specific proof on a chain? I want like a much more flexible SLA model. And ideally, I don't want to have 7 different payment wallets with all of these different keys across all these different networks. It's complicated. It's a lot of overhead. It's high risk. I really would much prefer to just, have the same thing as my one easy use credit card that can go to market with all these different services. Last but not least, a key learning was from a DePIN service perspective. We started seeing, this amazing community of many different types of DePIN services starting to go to market, running into a lot of the same pain points that we as a community in Filecoin had run into, back in 2020, 2021, when we were in the early stages of a newly launched two-sided DePIN marketplace. We're like, wow, both the service providers and clients we're seeing are hitting the same UX pain points again and again. And booting a whole two-sided marketplace from scratch to hit those sorts of network effects really benefits from having reusable building blocks and the ability to be stronger together. And so these are a couple of snapshots from Nicola's talks. A lot of our design goals here were to upgrade the markets within Filecoins to allow payment in many different currencies, to have this value accrual fee charged in fill, to make it really easy to launch new services. So not just POREP, proof of replication, which is our first Filecoin service, but proof of data possession, which is the one that just went to live on mainnet last week. Proofs of retrieval, proofs of compute. We can bring render and Fluence and many Titan, all of these different DePIN ecosystems to bring their services together, deployed where the market meets of service provider and client, so that they have a whole suite of services to choose from and compose. And really, harnessing the fact that, our original offering of how the market worked, was a good start, but it wasn't flexible enough. It wasn't upgradable enough. And really by adding in a more upgradable modular market design, we'd be able to serve many different services with this same market and with kind of a same payments contract that can multiplex across many different service types, supporting both clients and service providers. So that's our vision for Filecoin Web Services, to create this marketplace of DePIN services, harnessing all of the strengths of Filecoin as this OG DePIN project, widely distributed token, huge hardware resources, and ecosystem of storage services, and also improving Filecoin, making sure that the storage offering is better and meets clients where they are, helping be this distribution layer for DePIN and bringing them kind of, to all of the paying customers who are like, yeah, that's a great service, but I really need all of these other things in order to put my dollars on the line. I have my feature matrix that I need to compare, multiplexing across both storage and compute, and making sure that we can scale paying client adoption. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We've now brought our first 2 storage offerings to market inside of Filecoin Web Services, kind of on the horizon, starting to work on designs for retrieval and more storage plus storage augmenting DePIN offerings, and really excited to start collaborating across other DePIN networks as well to bring things like compute, AI, access controls, reputation, and other types of service offerings, to be able to share SLAs, payment rails, and kind of these multi-service deal types. So at its core, what is FWS? It's made of a couple of different building blocks. First, there's this little plug and play framework for on-chain services, making it templatized and easy to bring your proof, bring however you define your service to an existing market and bring that as a user space smart contract, to sell and bundle that service along with other services into singular or remixed deal types to clients. There's a network here for resource aggregation, for a service provider to sign up for, hey, I've got storage and compute and bandwidth, and I'm going to offer all of those services on the same hardware without having to, individually onboard with 7 different networks and user IDs, and be able to enable this resale and combination. We have all of this kind of decentralized infrastructure access, helping applications and storefronts harness all of these services in kind of one go, which helps builders and new on-ramps go to market way faster because there's a lot less brand new stuff they have to build under the hood. And last but not least, a core piece of this is helping upgrade that market to have this payment subsystem that can check, did the user actually get the SLA that they were asking for across multiple different services before paying out based on a stable coin or other currency type, so that you can have kind of automated trustless deals that are really meeting the user where they are of what they care about from a service perspective. And hopefully makes it a lot easier for new services to come to market, fitting into an existing set of building blocks they don't have to build out from scratch. So why is this good for Filecoin? Why are we all excited about this and working on it? Because we think it's going to make Filecoin itself better, in addition to bringing a lot to the wider DePIN ecosystem. It's critical for us and for the clients that we are actively getting, paying for Filecoin storage to evolve from just a Glacier archival tier of offering to have many different tiers of storage, and many different types of programmable SLAs that can be monitored by the network. So this is, learned through our blood, sweat, and tears, actually getting clients paying for the services we offer. This is also a key that we've seen for convincing folks to go from the archaic, legal contracts and point-to-point, handshake agreements between businesses to actually start using a flexible, programmable on-chain economy. We need things like stablecoin and rolling payment deals. We need on-chain SLA verification, and we need to be able to tie this loop for us and other DePIN networks, so that there's kind of constant value accrual from the usage of these services for the, both the resource provider, the service creator or operator, and it's making sure that we deliver to the client what they actually want to pay for. Another really exciting component is unlocking a more programmable service layer on L1. Makes it easier for builders to launch new services, makes a whole ton of new services possible because you don't have to build all of your building blocks within one walled garden. You can remix across other existing DePIN networks and services, making each of those services more valuable, and streamlining that user experience who really doesn't want to hop to 7 different DePIN networks in order to get their combined service. Also has the opportunity of reusing a lot of the modular infrastructure we already have. Like we already have dApps and L2s and kind of a number of L1 protocol building blocks that folks can reuse to get started faster and go to market faster. And last but not least, we are excited to use this as an opportunity for many different service creators to start making revenue, to actually sell their services to more paying customers, upsell one paying customer with other additional services, just like AWS does today with, well, you've got your Glacier, but how about you get some S3 and some Lambda and some EC2 thrown in there, and suddenly you're a much more fully fledged customer of many of these different services, and we have kind of a smooth structure for new service creators to also charge reasonable fees and also make more revenue for the providers offering their services. So we think FWS is a really exciting breakthrough for Filecoin as a network, going from being kind of a one-stop shop for archival storage to being a platform for programmable, verifiable, and monetizable cloud services more broadly. So as I start saying SP going forward, my new definition on that is a service provider, not necessarily a storage provider, because we are up-leveling the many different capabilities that a service provider might serve in the Filecoin economy. All right, and with that, to dive into what really FWS is under the hood and how it works, I'll pass off to Jennifer to walk us through this super awesome diagram we've put together. Go for it, Jennifer.
Cool. Thanks, Molly, for sharing where FWS began. Just double checking. Everyone can hear me and see my screen? Awesome. Cool. Okay, so things about virtual sessions compared to the in real life ones is like, I can't really tell if folks in the audience are like, oh, that all makes a lot of sense, or like, holy moly, cool, but what? But like, if you are the latter, I will try my best to walk you through what is FWS and how it works from an architecture perspective, and hopefully that makes things a little bit better and make a little bit more sense from there. Okay, so to start off, there are a couple key personas and components in FWS that we all should know about. As a starting point, of course, we have our data owners and data client who are looking for open, decentralized solutions for their data use cases. Next, we have storefronts. So storefronts are applications, L2s on reps who directly interact with the data clients, data users, where products can be displayed and sold directly to them and customized to users' needs. We also have SPs, and as Molly mentioned, that we are upgrading from just being storage providers to actually a service provider, which providing multi-services who offers end services such as cloud resources, operational capabilities that meets a client's needs. So those are the existing things that already kind of exist in the Filecoin network that you are familiar with. What we have been building in the past couple of months is the new FWS, the marketplace. We started by building a new FWS service, a hot storage service verifiable by proof of data possession, which you will be hearing more about from Sam later on. So what is a FWS service? It's a cloud service with on-chain verifiable SLAs and SLIs defined by service creators. So SLAs, for those who are not familiar, is the service level agreement that storage providers and client agreed upon. It's a service promise. And SLI is where whether the promise is being fulfilled is how that is measured. It can be done cryptographically via like verifiable proof. For example, with Filecoin L1, the archival storage or the persistent storage is verified by PORAP. And the hot storage we develop is verifiable by PDP. Those request service providers to submit a proof over the storage or the data they are storing to the chain and verified by the chain. And as for the SLA, they are requested to do that every day. So they have to do a proof successfully every day, or they fail to offer the service level they agreed to their client, and they're going to get slashed and for it, and so on and so forth. But verifiable proof is not the only way to define SLIs, how the promise is being fulfilled, right? So it can be done via other reputational systems, or more trustful client report-based system that already exists on Web2. We can bring some of the pieces to the chain. Service creators are really encouraged to experience with different combinations to find their own market fit. And what we will be building next is a service registry where all available services and providers will be listed, allowing the clients to explore and select the service offering they will love. Again, the client here, I mean either data owners or the storefront themselves. And hot off press, we also have a brand new FWS payments service where clients can purchase services with fiat or fiat-backed stablecoin from the providers. And combining all the services, the payment, and the registry, that's what we call the FWS marketplace, a place where with cloud services, with programmable on-chain verifiable SLAs and SLIs defined in the smart contracts. Okay, so that's the what. So how does all the pieces, combine together, and how does it actually work? So let's work through the flow. I'm going to try to be quick. I know we are running over a little bit. So as a data owner, as a client, you may choose to buy product from the storefront you like. Or if you're a more sophisticated user who's very familiar with Web3 technology and you just want to go fully decentralized, you can also browse through the FWS on-chain service registry directly. Again, where you can find all the cloud services, provided by SPs globally, SPs as service providers, not just storage providers, to find the services you need. Other than which individual or bundled services are available, you can also find who is offering that, where are they, at what cost on chain with transparent access, and select and buy or subscribe to service you like. So for service creators, you may find the SPs and the service SOAs that they are offering in the registry as well. So then you can use that to define an individual bundle service to offer more enhanced offering to the clients. So for example, a service creator can bundle cold storage by Filecoin by PORAP, warm storage with PDP, and maybe Spark checks a reputation check, a retrieval, a success reputation check to get higher SLAs that may fit more real world clients' needs and potentially get you more paid deals and paying clients. So after this discovery phase, users or like storefront will be negotiating and sign the deal intents directly with the service providers, publish the deals, and then the service providers will be publishing the deals and the SOAs agreed on chain and activate the service. So it's very important that the deal is signed again between the end user directly with the service provider. Again, storefront can be an end user here from the FWS marketplace perspective. And this is to reduce the centralized entry point of failure, right? So if the storefront or the service you go through, like, as your entry point to Filecoin decentralized services, they are done, the services you purchase will still be alive. And worst case scenario, somehow the storefront went bankrupt and they just disappeared MIA from the world. It's still fine because all the services you buy is directly with the service providers, traceable on chain, and they will be keeping offering the services because that's the deal directly between you and them. And you can also do a storefront migration if you want, or you can choose to directly engage with the service providers, the end service providers directly. Okay, so once the deal is signed, users or the storefront will authorize the services and deposit funds to pay the services in the Filecoin Web Service Marketplace, the payment system. So you as the service providers, you don't have to worry about the client not paying as long as you are fulfilling the SLAs agreed according to the deals. And you can always settle the payment and collect the funds from the payment system according to the deal terms agreed upon. And also all the service level you have provided across the whole deal cycle. And as a client, if the service providers are not providing the services according to the SLA and SLIs they agreed, they don't get paid, and you can get the refund back. We can foresee in the future some like storefront or the service creator may create a service like, hey, not only you get your money back, and you may get some rebate if the SPs are not fulfilling their SLAs and they get slashed, they lose some collateral, and that the collateral is going as a rebate to the client as sorry, bad, you didn't get your service. Here are some refund back to you. So all that sounds easy, right? Again, awkward because it's virtual. I cannot see the audience. But again, if this still sounds a lot, don't worry. We do have a end-to-end prototype demo that combines all these into an app that will hopefully further help you visualize what FWS really is and how that works. Cool. So next, I would like to quickly talk about what does this mean to you, right? Like, what can you expect from the Filecoin, the network, the ecosystem, and how can you get involved? So with this whole system, there are a couple of things that Filecoin we will be, as core devs, implementers, or builders, dev roles, we will be offering the resources to you. And there are things that can be good product business opportunities for you to build. So first, what can you expect from Filecoin? What does Filecoin give you? Why do you want to choose Filecoin to build this product? So Filecoin, again, first as one of the OG Filecoin DePIN network, we do have a lot of capacity. We have amazing storage providers, has been running for 5 years, providing real services in the network. So we have a lot of service providers already here. Not only they have storage, they also have great bandwidth, GPUs, and like all those things. So this is the place that you can find all the resources, and we hope more come to the network as we have FWS. We are building the FWS marketplace, so we have a couple services already built as something to demo, people can directly use, and also have been lab in VNet, for example, the archival storage using PORAP and hot storage using PDP. What we will be building next is the service registry, which will also allow the service discovery phase that I was just talking about. And last but not least, we have built the payment service. The code is live. It's not on mainnet yet, but we are hoping to deploy it soon in Q2 or Q3 timeline. So what's that for you? How can you get involved as a builder, as a business owner, or like someone who really wants to dig your toes into the DePIN Web3 space? So it's the great time to build a storefront, because Web3 and crypto and all these proofs sometimes can be hard to use. While you are building fully trustful list system, there are some UX trade-offs sometimes we have to make from the L1 perspective, and you can build a storefront that minimize those UX trade-off and provide a seamlessly solution for your users by building a storefront. It can be an app, it can be an L2s, or it can be an on-ramps, which hides all this complexity from your users. It's also a great time to build different services. Like Molly mentioned before, right now Filecoin has been focused on storage service for the past couple of years, but now it's really time to bring compute over data, different compute services, supporting AI agents, LLM trainings, and so on and so forth to the network. So if you are interested in those and retrieval services, CDN services, it's time to build, and we would love to collaborate with you. And last but not least, if you are a service provider, or you are someone that's building the software for service providers to use, it's time to see how we develop a multi-noding system where you can support different service provider to provide different resources via the single software, so to reduce the OpEx and complexity of like offering services to the network. And it's the time to actually, if you have access to the resources, it's time to start running the software and try to participate in the network and give the world the bandwidth, the disk storage, or say the compute power, the GPUs for real world usage. Okay, so that's that. The TLDR is that we are adding FW. So how FWS really fits in Filecoin, right? You see, like completely new system. Like, no, we are really introducing FWS as a key component and building block to Filecoin L1 protocol, along with other things that are already there. The main difference is, instead of developing as built-in actors, which each iteration upgrade or new services has to go through a FIP process, a network upgrade to get introduced, we're all doing this on like FEVM in the user land, so that we can accelerate the development speed and iterate fast to meet the users where they need us, and so on and so forth. So that is that. The roadmap, what's next, what already happened, and what can I expect in the next couple of weeks after this call or for the rest of the year. So we just checked off our milestone 1, where we introduced a new FWS storage service, also the first to support hot storage needs verifiable by proof of data possession. It's on mainnet as of April. I don't want to say it's April the 1st, but sometime in April, not on the April Fool's Day. It's real. You will see more details later from Zen after this talk. So what we are working on right now and next is the FWS payment. We want to make sure that we combine the hot and cold storage together. Again, that's what we have been hearing from the data clients, like what they really need. We want to further develop a very simple Open Deal Protocol MVP to allow services to be plugged into FWS and can a place where client can buy it. So that's what we will be working on for the rest of the Q2. And once all the framework is there, that's the place where we believe FWS is ready for all kinds of DePIN services. Either it's natively or from other chains or existing DePIN network. we want it to be plugged in, deployed to FWS, so we can enhance the decentralized cloud service to the real world use cases. So if you are interested in building, or you're already building a retrieval CDN service like Spark Titan Retrieve, or compute services like Fluence and so on, or other DePIN services like encryption, ACL, reputation, and all, we would love to connect with you and work with you to see how we can have all your services in FWS to serve different users. So, okay, I'm almost done. So what's next? It's time to integrate PDP for hot storage into your app. We have an amazing demo that we will be showing you. It's that easy, and you should try it out yourself. We are opening up requests for services from storefront. So like if you know that your clients has like some service offering needs or service needs that Filecoin cannot fulfill right now, let us know. We would love to work with the builders to build those services and offer that for you. And you hear from here first. There will be a service creator and service provider early builder program later this year. If you are interested in helping us shaping FWS development and really advance this technology, fill in this early builder interest intake form, and we will let you know when the program is officially open later this year. And last but not least, we do have all our development open source on GitHub, and also we are in Filecoin Slack build FWS channel every day as we develop the thing. If you have any questions or want to build us, join that channel and we will be there. Thank you.